I've learned so much and I know so much that I can help other people. And that's when it really feels good because somebody calls me up and is like, Mahogany, girl, I just went to the Maldives because of your help. And it just feels so good because everybody should be doing that, right? Everybody should have the opportunity to experience traveling around the world and not breaking the bank and not going broke and not being Instagram rich, for sending. Like there are ways to make this happen. So, and then that's just leveraging credit card points for things that you are already buying. And that's very important. That's what I really stress is like, I don't want you to go out there, get a credit card and start swiping on stuff so you can earn points. I want you to pay your bills
Hmm.
and on time and pay those credit cards off so that you can live a fancy life all over the world based off of all the adult bills that we have to pay.
I'm really, 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 really excited about this because I have been following Mahogany for some time, and I heard about her from my friend Jasara because Mahogany is doing some amazing things with paying off her debt, using points to like travel all around the world on first class. Look, I think she just bought a house with the some points. I don't even know. Listen, she got so many amazing stories in this. I am so excited to get the tea. So, if you are someone who is trying to pay off debt, but also trying to create a life that doesn't feel like it's held back by your financial responsibilities, then I am very excited. You're going to love this video. So, yeah, just get your pencil and paper. Make sure you're ready to come back to this video and watch it again. So, welcome, Mahogany. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It is my absolute pleasure. I'm so excited to have you. I mean, I wasn't playing. I was like real life fangirling when I'm like, you've had some amazing things to share in your story. So I'm so excited to get into them and really hear the details. So I'm trying to decide, do I wanna start at, like, the last thing I heard, or do I wanna decide or should we start at, like, the beginning, like, where when you started paying off your debt with, like and getting points off of all of that? What you tell me which side, which better is to start, at the beginning or at the end?
Um, you know, we'll start in the middle
Okay.
because the beginning we started on this. We're not allowed to call it travel hacking anymore when we work with banks, but I started with a point earning debit card. It was like an Alaska card, I think, back in the day, and I was earning points, and I thought I was a big deal because I would fly back and forth to New York, because all you needed was like 12,000 points, and I would use my little debit card for everything, and that's how I got into it. And then I started
Mm,
reading blogs and getting really, really involved and figuring it out. But now I'm at the point where I've learned so much and I know so much that I can help other people, and that's when it really feels good because somebody calls me up and is like, "Hi, girl, I just went to the Maldives because of your help," and it just feels so good because everybody should be doing that, right? Everybody should have the opportunity to experience traveling around the world and not breaking the bank and not going broke and not being Instagram rich, for sending. Like there are ways to make this happen. So, and then that's just leveraging credit card points for things that you are already buying. And that's very important. That's what I really stress is like, I don't want you to go out there, get a credit card and start swiping on stuff so you can earn points. I want you to pay your bills
mhm.
and on time and pay those credit cards off so that you can live a fancy life all over the world based off of all the adult bills that we have to pay.
Listen, that is super key. Like the fact that you are saying, I'm not asking you to overspend. You can still very much live within your means and just actually use it to your benefit. Like, adulting can actually be a good thing, you know? Because so many other things kind of make us feel like adulting is hard, adulting sucks, like, I don't want to adult anymore. And you are actually saying, no, adulting can actually work to your benefit if you can learn how to switch it and use this perspective to really, leverage some of the tools that, some of these hacks that Mahogany is about to share with us. I love that. I love that. So then let me ask you this also, too, in that same lane. I feel like a lot of people have become a bit scared. And I'm going to speak for myself because I came from the mindset of like, first, okay, you got credit, but you're trying to figure it out. And I had student loans. That was most of my main thing. And then I did the total money makeover with Dave Ramsey. And Dave Ramsey is absolutely no credit whatsoever. Like he doesn't teach you how to leverage it. He doesn't teach you how to do it well. And I think my problem with that is that it doesn't actually empower you. It just makes you avoid it. And so like you have somehow figured out how to not avoid it and actually be empowered in it. Like what I know you said you started it with that first car, but what was the first thing that made you be like, "Oh, I can really do this." Like it doesn't have to be something I'm scared of.
Okay, so I like you was completely scared of credit. My mom and them, my mom and them, it scares the crap out of me because they put something on credit and then something else in life happened. Life happened, and so then you get swamped into debt. And I think my light bulb moment was okay. Don't get swamped into debt. On one hand, build your emergency funds or whatever you need. And on the other hand, be responsible. And none of this will happen. Life will happen, but you'll be prepared. So once I got to the place of preparation and being able to even save, and let me say this, let me preface this because it, a lot of people don't say it's like you need money to do this. Like literally, you need a couple of dollars. You need that extra income so that you can build your emergency fund, right? Because credit cards are not an emergency fund. Let's get that right. So I had to get to a place where I actually had some extra money, and that took a long time. So once I had paid off my car, and Dave Ramsey is good for this, is that get you a car that is, and get you a car and keep that car. We don't need these. What is it? $1,000 a month for car notes these days? Literally, if you don't have that $1,000 a month, you can literally save your little emergency fund, and then you can start earning credit card points just by paying your bills. So I think I got to that point. I got the extra $350 a month back in the day when cars only cost that much. I got the extra $350 a month that gave me a boost and gave me the confidence to actually say, okay, I can do a credit, right? I can pay this every month. Um, it just took that little really for me to not be scared.
I love that. So it sounds like you're saying, this is not like a one or the other. This is not an either or. This is a both and. This is learning how to have your emergency fund, do your debt snowball to get yourself back level, and then using your now extra income, which really the money that you should have been receiving when you weren't in debt, and actually using it to pay to adult, but then taking it a step further and getting points off of it. Like that's like full circle being able to leverage every side of our financial situation. I love that. Now, I also know though, there was a part of this like how did you do that while you were also paying off your student loans? Because I know that you had this whole journey where you became debt free, but you were also getting points off of it, if I remember correctly.
That's right. So, I was earning let let me tell you the real deal because I don't want anybody to think that, oh my gosh, I gotta pay these student loans and I don't know how this is gonna happen. I didn't pay my student loans for forever. I was like, I'm gonna die with these bad boys. It is gonna be what it's again, I finally had a couple of jobs. So one job didn't pay much. So I used that as I would say I need an income repayment based off of that job. So I would
Mm.
submit those W-2s or those paid stubs or whatever. So I would pay the absolute minimum I could. Yeah. Then I discovered that PayPal bills, my loan company was on PayPal bills. And on
Mhm.
PayPal bills, you can pay things with credit cards.
Ah.
So as I would get a new credit card every time I came into I got a bonus from work or whatever. I came into some extra money. I would open a new credit card because with credit cards you have things called sign up bonuses. So they'll say, here's 60,000, 60,000 if you spend $3,000 in the next 3 months. So I would go and I would get a bonus and I would go to PayPal bill with this new credit card and I would pay those $3,000. I would get 60,000 for. Not everybody can do that, but I was able. It wouldn't always be $3,000. Sometimes it'd be $1,000. Sometimes it'd be $500. Whatever it was that was extra, I would go to PayPal bills and do that. And so I did that for years. Every time I got a credit card or every time I got, some extra money, go give that to PayPal bills to Navient. And it would wipe down my debt. Started with the largest loan first, and so it was really, really, really good. But then when I was down to my last $10,000, um, I was holding out for Joe Biden, President Biden, to wipe my face. And I got that email saying you're gonna get your loans forgiven, and then that email that said, "Fight, you just playing." I held out for another year. I was like, "Keep coming through. He's gonna come through. Congress, everybody gonna act right." And since they didn't, I I was like, "Okay, let me go pay these off." That day, PayPal bills stopped accepting credit cards for Navient. Navient, they wiped Navient off of their PayPal bills. I was like, I'm stuck. But I found a loophole. Uh, you can pay through 529. I don't know if you guys know about 529. It's basically like a college account for kids, right?
Mhm.
Um, so you deposit money into these accounts, and then that goes. They save for their college expenses or whatever. So there are gift cards from giftofcollege.com for 529 account. You can connect your student loans to a 529 account and that pays from there. So Gift of College connects it all. It's nothing you have to do. So if you have an HEB near you, you can go buy you some Gift of College gift cards, upload them onto the Gift of College site, or you can go and Gift of College and add to a 529 account, but it's like a $15 fee. It's not worth it if you're not working on a time. It's just not worth it paying all those fees. But if you're working on a sign up bonus, or if you're able to go get the gift cards and upload them, I paid off my last $10,000 doing that, and I earned probably like 100,000 points from I think it was one of the business cards that I opened. Paid off my loan, took the trip, paid for some hotels, um, and that was how we got through. But you got to get creative, and that was the way we did it.
I mean, the whole creativity in that, girl, that's an art right there. Cause I'm like, I need you to get out some paper and do the math because I'm like the this that connects to that to this like I'm trying to follow. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, how did you even recognize such creativity to be able to lean into? Because I'm like, I mean, I paid off my debt, but I did it the old fashioned traditional way with the good old the snowball. And I did month after month. And when I heard that you got points, and what the $50,000 in debt and got tripped for it, I'm missing out on the world. Like never crossed my mind. Like that's a really interesting connection that you made. How did you get there?
So with I Navient did have a loophole where you could just call in and pay um, with a debit card, and PayPal used to have this thing called PayPal Key, and your credit cards change into like a debit card number. So
Mm,
I would go through PayPal Key, get a debit card number, call into Navient, and pay some off. Well, PayPal Key went defunct. So I was like, I need something close to this because you can't. That's at my point. And they had just come back with PayPal bills, and I just happened to look and see what companies are on PayPal bills because maybe I could pay my gas bill or something. And I looked and I saw Nabby, and I think my heart skipped a beat. I had heart palpitations. I was like, oh God, like this. So it was by chance. Now it's all over blogs, and you can literally, how do I pay my student loan to the credit card? You can Google that thing, and it'll come up. But back
mm,
then, it was just happenstance. I just looked to
right.
see how I'm going to pay because my PayPal fee had gone out. So, but the gift of college thing is just really, it's on the internet. It's very few people do it, but because it is kind of tedious. Go and upload a gift card every month or whenever you're going to do it. Upload all the information and do it. But when there's a will, there's a way. If
Right.
I'm going to get a free trip out of it, I'll do it.
I would have did it for a free trip. Listen, I sure enough would have did it for a free trip. If I would have known that was a thing, man, I would have totally done it. And while it is tedious, would you rather pay for physically for the convenience or use your time and your energy to get that money back for something even beyond that? That to me, that's a no-brainer. That's worth it to me. So I completely get that. Okay, so now you've gone from you started with a debit card that gave you points that got you in it, and then you stumbled on some stuff that allowed you to get points for paying off your debt. Now your debt's paid off and now I know you just bought a house, and I'm pretty sure I read something like I needed to get my points for this, so this is how it happened. So just tell me the story because I'm trying to understand it all.
So we we have a few properties, but we live in a condo now. We just we weren't in the market for a house. It just ain't. It wasn't in the cards. We live in California. You can't get into my zip code for under $1 million. I ain't got it. So we did find a great deal. We had to make it happen. But it's a fixer upper. It's very dated. So I was like, well, guess we're gonna get some points out of this. All of the quotes we've gotten have been absolutely ridiculous. So what we're doing is we are going to buy all the materials. So that means we open up all of our credit cards, open up a few credit cards, and we'll hit our minimum spend just by buying cabinets and floors. And so buying a house will send us to Turkey. And where else are we going? Next week is Turkey and where are we going? Buenos Aires and Peru. So just paying for the things that we have to pay for and then house will get us a few trips out of that. Um, so it's a win-win situation, really. With the house, however, There's a lot of expenses involved when you are applying for a house. You got inspections, you got whatever. So with that, we had to open another credit card, and so we got a sign up bonus during that process with all the inspections and the people that we have to pay during that. So got a trip out of that too. We're just getting trips out of all the adulting bills.
I love that. I love that so much. Yes, I'm aspiring to that. Get a trip from adulting. Like that's what that's what we should all want. That is definitely my vibe. I love that. Okay. So if for someone that is like getting started today, and there's obviously multiple levels that someone could be starting at. So let's first enter it from the context of someone who has some debt, and but they want to start they want to start making points off adulting. Where someone who's starting with debt, what's the first 3 steps that they should do?
I think the big thing is to find a card that works for you and your right,
Mm,
and commit to responsibility, right? So yeah, we're paying down debt, but at the same time, we still got to pay these bills, right?
mhm,
So if you're going to pay these bills, let's find a good credit card that's working for you. If you're paying, let's say you have to make payments to medical expenses,
mhm,
then you need a card that is going to give you the most points for those medical expenses that you have to. So I
mhm,
would say go open up a venture or a venture X because you're going to get 2 times points for everything, right?
mhm,
So not just most cards will give you 1 times point. Like a lot of people like to go get the Amex Platinum because it looks it's all heady and it's sexy, and when you break out the Amex Platinum, it ain't the flex that you think it is because you're only earning 1 point every time you swipe that bad boy, right?
mhm,
No, if you got these medical costs that you need to pay for, let's get 2 times points for every time you swipe that with a venture.
mhm,
Let's say that you are like me and you are greedy and you got 5 kids to feed. All your money goes to food and go food. I would go out and I would get me an Amex Gold. That's 4 times. So when
mm,
you swipe that bad boy at the restaurant or at a grocery store, you're getting 4 points for every dollar. So you're on the way to trips and hotels and whatever you need faster than if you got a car that does not work for your spending or your goals. So first thing I would do is just say, come to me. I will send you in the direction and the best car for your situation, like for your spending habits and for your travel goals. If you don't, if you plan to travel, 5 times a year, then you need a car that gives you the most for travel that you're earning for travel. So it may be a Sapphire or maybe then the Amex Platinum because you get 5 times for travel. So things like that. Just make sure that one, you're ready for the responsibility of paying the thing off every month, paying your balance in full, and two, that you're gaining the most points for what you spend.
I love that. And I love both of those things. And I love, please, when Mahogany says she's going to help you figure out a plan and what card to use based on your goals and your situation. This woman, I just did her regular form, and the report that I got back made me about fall out my chair. Said, "You doing all of this for free? How can I pay you?" Like, I wanted to pay her because this was that much great information. Like, getting into credit cards, I think it's amazing to leverage it. And I love this idea of leveraging being adulting and leveraging all of that. But it's like there's a method to that madness. It's not something that, like, I think Mahogany, you've been in it so long, like it is an art that you have, like a master painter. Like that's what Mahogany does when you do a consultation with her. So like literally it takes a little bit of you figuring out, like, what do you actually want from life? What are you trying to accomplish? Like you need to be specific and know those things. But once you get that to Mahogany, man, magic, she comes back with magic. All of her magic comes out. So I've ranted about it a lot, but I'm telling you it from experience. Like, you need to do a consultation with her. Like, at the end of the day, I was going to like ask, what are the different situations and how could people start per situation? But really, Mahogany really gives you that when you get on a consultation with her. So that being said, tell everybody, how can they get on a consult with you, and like what does it look like? And before she even gets into that, let me just tell you it's free. So there's no excuse. Like, leverage this opportunity because this woman is doing this much work for free. Like, okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm done.
So you can go to dealduchess.com and my free credit card consultation will just pop up on the screen. You fill out your email and check your spam because you'll get a survey once you confirm. Fill out the survey. Tell me what your goals are. Tell me what kind of credit cards you have. Tell me if your credit score is above or below a 700. And with that, I can guide you gently towards the first, second, and third credit cards you should probably get. Some people have a lot of expenses, a lot of home expenses that they have coming up. That's the perfect time to get a new credit card. If you've got a home expense like me, like I got to get my floor done, or you got some mold or something like that, open up the card. You got to pay it. So that's what I'm going to do. It's on dealduchess.com, or you can reach me on Instagram at dealduchessla, and I'll send you my consultation form there. Uh, or email me at mahogany at dealduchess.com, and I will send you a consultation there. But we gonna get you in the game either way. Anyway, as long as you reach out.
I love that. I love that. Now, here's one question that you might not expect. But I also want to ask, like, what makes it not a good option? Like, what makes someone not a good fit to do this right now, or maybe not at all? Like, where's that line drawn?
If you think that you are that it's okay to like carry balances over, um, that if you think that the credit card is really credit, because my credit cards are debit. If it ain't in my checking account, it ain't in my credit card.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are not aligned with that, if you don't have that thinking, don't do it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You will only create a huge hole that you gotta dig out of.
Yeah.
And don't nobody want to be in holes all their life, right? Like, we're tired of that. We got to get to a point where you're tired of struggle, and you're tired of debt, and you're tired of debt collectors, and you're tired of calls, and like, we don't want any of that. So if you have a checking account that matches your credit card bill, then those are the people that need to call me or reach out to me. Otherwise, I say just wait until you get into that mindset where, I'm clear, I want to travel, I want to see the world, and I'm going to pay my bills. Yeah,
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. Again, this is not about using credit. This is about using this card as pretty much a pass through so that you can get extra benefits off of doing adulting the right way. Like, that's where this is coming from. And I love even more that you said, this is nobody wants to get stuck in this hole. And everybody that's on this channel, you guys, I'm all about, we need to quit being that strong Black woman. We need to quit working harder and harder, harder. Like, we need to actually get into this place where we're building a life where this is the magical stuff that we all wish that we lived, but we're doing that by not trying to look as if we got money. Like, we're doing responsible things that shift our mindset from that scarcity mindset, from that lack mindset, and actually do things that are actually going to create the life, the soft life, the ease that we want. So, like, this is for the person that recognizes I put in work, but I'm ready to make that work for me. This is rather than making it work for everybody else. So that's a huge shift that really I am hands down in agreement with Mahogany. If you think this is a way to keep from paying your bills, this is how you need to keep walking. If you think this is a way to skip out on paying your student loans, this is a time to keep walking. If you think this is a way to go on trips where you could buy now and pay later another time, to keep walking. Like, this is about having financial stability and freedom in this right now, because we're using adulting to leverage we're leveraging adulting to make the most of it and get beautiful benefits on top of that. So I that gets me excited. It gets me so excited. So
I just want to add to that, and I just want to give you a tangible form of what it looks like. Let's say I'm working on a sign up bonus right now. It's 90,000, and I've had this card before. This 90,000 points, it took me 70,000 points to fly to business class to Seychelles in Qatar in the lie flat sea, where both of my husband and I created a bond together. It's together create the bond. Only 70,000
mm,
for spending money that I had to spend, right?
yeah.
Once you get a little taste of that, you're gonna keep wanting more. So the responsibility is gonna come into play. I think that just try it out. Try it out. Figure out how you manage yourself. Here is looking at my Instagram. I show you step by step by step by step how I did every trip. Uh, and you will see that the benefits far outweigh you holding on to that little debit card, swiping away at that little debit card, whatever you're doing, or paying. What is it, the buy here, pay here? Those things. All you got to do is open a credit card, pay your bills, and then buy your own flights at points. You know,
Right.
and you will see how amazing this life is. And things since are falling into play. I think people need tangible evidence of what is possible.
Yes, and I love that. So I want to break down the math of what you just said, because you said it only costs 70,000 points. And if we're thinking about that one card, you said it was an Amex Platinum that said you get 4 times points on everything. So if we divided that 70,000 by 4, that means you spent about 17.5, right? Like, how does is that how we start breaking it down to see like what the actual numbers are?
The big thing is that the sign up bonus. Remember, the
All
sign up bonus
right.
is huge. That was the Amex Gold. For Amex Gold right now, you get 90,000 points sign up after you complete the minimum spend. So let's say you got 90,000 points. Let's say you eat $500 a month in groceries with your family and friends, right? 500 times 4 is 2,000 points a month. 2,000 times 12 is 24,000 points a year. So you got, with your sign up bonus and your eating out, minimum eating, uh, you got 100 and almost 30, 120,000 almost points um, to play with. You can do a lot. If you're not bougie and you want to go economy, you can take your whole family to Costa Rica. Like that's a whole trip. But you leverage the sign up bonuses. That's where you're gonna get the majority of the points. Most of us don't spend that much money, right? Most of us most of us, we live regular lives. So we ain't spending that much money. If you got the venture and you're getting 2,000 points, your expenses every month are 15 to $2,000, then you got 3,000 points every month. So that at the end of the year, you can take your family on a trip to Hawaii. Like those kinds of things are tangible and easy to do, but we're focusing on the sign up versus that. That's what we get.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Like, this is bringing it down to the math, showing us how it can really happen. Not just, and here's a beautiful thing, you're showing us it in your life, but then you're actually showing us how to do it, because you can just gatekeep all the information and be like, listen, I'm getting to do this, but you're not. You're sharing that. So I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for being on with me today, Mahogany.
I had such a good time. I appreciate you, and I'm happy to see everybody soar and travel and keep their cool.
Yes. 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 I love it. I love it so much. So again, you guys, make sure you take a second. I'm going to have the information down in the description. You're going to want to head to Mahogany's website and sign up for a consultation and some of the other sessions that she has. Every single minute of it is worth it. So make sure you looking for it. Like, check your spam, because she sends it by email, but make sure you get all the details, because it is so, so helpful. Again, one of the best things that I have done. Okay. And I love it so much because in my own journeys and adventures to create a lifestyle where I'm leveraging my adulting and getting the most out of it and creating my own soft life. Because listen, I'm tired of being a strong Black woman. I'm tired of working harder to get those trips. I'm tired of working harder to go live in another country. I'm tired of working harder to get the things I want when there are people who are figuring out the hacks. So, like, that is what I love bringing to y'all. Y'all know I'm all about, we don't need to be that strong Black woman. We don't need to be on all the time. So that is what this channel is all about. I hope that you guys will subscribe and like this video, but also share it with someone else who likes to travel and is a responsible Black woman. We've been over responsible. We've been uber responsible for so long. Why not let that responsibility work for you? And Mahogany is showing us how. So, like, let's take advantage of it. Okay, you guys. So, thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you, Mahogany, and we'll see you next time. Bye.